Good afternoon, my name is Kurt Warford and I'm from Red Hat. What I'd like to talk to you about today is why customers are choosing the Red Hat storage server to help them manage the explosive amount of unstructured data growth that we're seeing today in the IT industry. There's really three key reasons customers are choosing the Red Hat storage server. First, it is efficient. Second, it's self-healing. And third, it's multi-tenant. So anyone familiar with the IT industry today and the trends in the storage space might hear you use the words storage and efficiency together and think you're using an oxymoron. So why is that? Well, most enterprise storage systems today are built on a reservation model where certain storage resources are reserved for certain systems and application workloads. This puts a lot of pressure on administrators to estimate how much resources to reserve for different application workloads and storage systems. So sometimes they're making decisions out of performance sake. Sometimes they're making decisions for capacity's sake. And sometimes they're making decisions just out of general paranoia. So how's the Red Hat storage server different? Well, what the Red Hat storage server does is it uses an elastic hash tagging algorithm. That uses only the storage resources that it needs for each application workload. So the result is fine-grained virtualization in your storage resource pools and less waste. And what this gives you the capability to do is have the closest scale as needed environment in the storage industry today. Let's take a look at a real-world example. We'll say that a customer has two aging EMC SANs. These SANs are almost to their full level of capacity and they're being bogged down in their performance level by all the workloads that are currently on these. Now you could refresh to a larger, more expensive SAN, or you could migrate some of the unstructured data workloads that are bogging these SANs down onto a Red Hat storage server and save yourself quite a bit of money. The reason you're going to save yourself money is because the Red Hat storage server is supported on commodity x86 hardware, and with that what you're going to be able to do is lower your storage footprint in the data center and you're also going to save money for more important projects that you might be of higher priority than just data management and storage in the data center. So let's move on and talk about our second topic and talk about self-healing. There's also a word out there that's called autonomic, and your body actually has autonomic biological features. Just as a quick example, let's say that these are your lungs, this is your heart. So when you go for a jog, your breathing and your heart rate speeds up to compensate for the amount of energy you're exerting, and when you take a nap, they slow down just in conjunction. What the Red Hat storage server is able to do is go out and find corrupted replicated files and fix them without any storage administrator intervention, so you have less time managing storage. Also, what the Red Hat storage server will help you do is monitor the activity of your storage workloads with functionality like profile and top that are integrated into the file system that runs on the Red Hat storage server. So you could have one that has activity like this, a workload that has activity like that, and a workload that has activity like this. And then you can monitor this activity and plan better for your storage investments in the future. Finally, what the Red Hat storage server can help you do in terms of self-healing is leverage your investment in Tier 1 storage. Say you've got 3 different application workloads running on this single array here. We'll say load 3 is a very intensive Tier 1 storage load. Load 1 is one that doesn't need a lot of performance and sticks down here on the bottom. And then load 2 is one that's kind of in between. You can monitor the levels of these workloads and then take better advantage of your Tier 1 storage and migrate the unstructured workloads off that Tier 1 storage so that you get better utilization of the resources that you already have in place. So let's finally move on to multi-tenancy. I like to think of multi-tenancy as virtualization as a service. For this example, let's take a look at, let's say here on the left side we have 4 different client workloads. We'll say this one is a video intensive workload. We'll say this one is an audio intensive workload. And we'll say this one is an archival intensive workload. And finally, we'll say that the last one is a document intensive workload. On the right side, we're going to have a single storage resource pool of your Red Hat storage server. And what you're able to achieve is mixing all these same workloads into one resource pool. So you're able to consolidate your resources in storage and save money in the process. And what this is a great example of is cloud computing in the storage industry. So, with the Red Hat storage server, you can expect to end your investments in expensive one-off storage projects. You can get more out of your investment in storage with less money invested in storage. You can also be greener because you're not investing in huge SANs that take up a large data center footprint in your data center. And finally, because you have less to manage and more time to management, you can get more work done. So this is just a quick picture of why customers are choosing the Red Hat storage server to deal with their unstructured data storage problems today. What I'd like to do now is ask you about your specific storage needs and see if there's an area where we can collaborate. Thank you.